Number 1. UN to seek $160 million in emergency aid for Pakistan floods. The United Nations and Pakistan issued an appeal Tuesday for $160 million in emergency funding to help millions affected by record-breaking floods that have killed more than 1,160 people since mid-June. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres said Pakistan's flooding, caused by weeks of unprecedented monsoon rains, were a signal to the world to step up action against climate change. "Let's stop sleepwalking toward the destruction of our planet by climate change," he said in a video message to an Islamabad ceremony launching the funding appeal. "Today, it's Pakistan. Tomorrow, it could be your country." Guterres will visit Pakistan on September 9th to tour areas most impacted by this unprecedented climate catastrophe, UN spokesman Stefan Dujarric announced Tuesday. More than 33 million people, or 1 in 7 Pakistanis, have been affected by the catastrophic flooding, which has devastated a country already trying to revive a struggling economy. More than 1 million homes have been damaged or destroyed in the past 2.5 months, displacing millions of people. Around 500,000 of those displaced are living in organized camps, while others have had to find their own shelter. Number 2. WHO Director in Asia accused of racism and abuse put on leave. The World Health Organization's top director in the Western Pacific, Dr. Tokishi Kasai, has been indefinitely removed from his post, according to internal correspondence obtained by the Associated Press. Kasai's removal comes months after an AP investigation revealed that dozens of staffers accused him of racist, abusive and unethical behavior that undermined the UN agency's efforts to stop the coronavirus pandemic in Asia. WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus told staff in the Western Pacific in an email on Friday that Kasai was on leave without elaborating further. Tedros said Deputy Director General, Dr. Zazona Jacob, would be arriving Tuesday in Manila, whose regional headquarters, to ensure business continuity. 2 senior WHO officials who asked not to be identified because they were not authorized to speak to the press, said Kasai had been put on extended administrative leave after internal investigators substantiated some of the misconduct complaints. In a statement, WHO said it was unknown how long Kasai would be away. The UN Health Agency said the investigation into him was continuing and that it was believed to be the first time a regional director had been relieved of their duties. Kasai did not respond to requests for comment but previously denied he used racist language or acted unprofessionally. Number 3. Iraqi cleric Sadr calls for an end to protests over his resignation from politics. Iraqi cleric Muqtada al-Sadr called on his followers to stop protesting Tuesday after violent clashes between rival Shiite Muslim groups continued for a second day following his announcement that he was withdrawing from politics. The violence prompted Iran to close its air and land borders with Iraq just as millions of Iranians were preparing for an annual pilgrimage to Shiite sites. "This is not a revolution anymore, because it has lost its peaceful character," Sadr said in a televised address. "The spilling of Iraqi blood is forbidden," he added. In a televised address delivered at 1 p.m. local time, 10 o'clock Greenwich Mean Time, Sadr set a 1-hour deadline for his supporters to leave their protests in the fortified Green Zone in central Baghdad, where they have occupied parliament for weeks. "Within 60 minutes, if the Sadrist movement does not withdraw, including from the sit-in at parliament, then even I will leave the movement," Sadr said. Moments after Sadr's speech, his supporters were seen beginning to leave the Green Zone, and minutes after that, the army lifted a nationwide curfew imposed since violence erupted on Monday. Tensions have soared in Iraq amid a political crisis that has left the country without a new government, prime minister or president for months, and escalated sharply after Sadr's supporters on Monday stormed the government palace following the Shiite cleric's announcement that he was quitting politics. The violence pitched Sadr's supporters against rival Shiite factions backed by neighboring Iran. Overnight, shelling targeted the high-security Green Zone that houses government buildings and diplomatic missions amid angry protests after Sadr's surprise announcement. Thank you for watching All That Happens. Remember to like and subscribe. And we hope to see you next time.